What's going on, guys? Sorry it took so long to get around to making this part 2 video on how to set up the Sealcoat tank on a budget, part 2. I'm going to give you guys a rundown now. We got everything all set up. I'm using the same shutoffs and, nipples that I used in the previous videos. I'm just running the filter basket actually the other way instead of running it to the left like I originally planned. We now have the hose reel set up there, secured down on blocks, raised up so we can get it above this 90-degree elbow here. But basically, this valve is the main shutoff for the tank, and then this is for the spray wand. It goes through the filter basket and it runs through these this 1.5 inch tubing that goes to the diaphragm pump. It's an 1.5 inch Wilden pump. Could have probably ran a 2-inch, but for our tank, this actually works pretty well. Let's run back to the back, and we actually ended up going with just a straight piece off of the end instead of the 90-degree elbow going down. This actually works out a little bit better because we can put this this dust cap over the end of the T here. Not the T, I'm sorry. The cam lock fitting here. It has a dust cap so it doesn't spill sealer. Last year we were trying to use a like a screw-in cap basically that went underneath and screwed in, but after you use it a certain amount of times, it builds up with sealer and it's basically impossible to get it to screw in. So this gets stuck a little bit, but when you work it and twist it, it comes off basically for the whole season. So we cleaned that out, so it's going to be easy to get on and off for next year. Let's take a run around to the front of the tank now. So we got the diaphragm pump. Like I said, it's an 1.5 inch Wilden pump. We need to get a inline filter here that is going to filter out the oil from the air compressor so it doesn't get into our Sealcoat tank. That can happen without an inline filter. You can pick them up at Harbor Freight for like, I don't know, 40 to 60 bucks depending on what you get. This is kind of a tight fit in here. I'm kind of lucky. This is actually our second diaphragm pump. We actually had the PSI too high on the air compressor before, and we had it set to like 150. We didn't realize it was up so high, but it ended up putting a hole in the casing in our pump, like down here along the casting, like weld or whatever it's called. But yeah, we'll take a wrap around up to the front. We ended up putting a rubber box on the front of our trailer tongue. This is probably the best thing that we did because now we no longer have to have the 30-gallon, rolling around with us for now until we upgrade. But this thing actually works really well. It's a 10-gallon, just stationary melter. Got the propane on there. It's bolted down. And yeah, and then we just got this air compressor. We picked up it's just a wheelbarrow air compressor from Harbor Freight. I think it's around like $1,100, and then you get the warranty obviously with it for another couple $100, but that saves you in case anything happens to it. Let's take a look here at the front. We got the diaphragm pump has a reducer because this is an 1.5 inch and all these fittings are 2 inches, so I have a 1.5 to 2 inch reducer here, and then I have the 2-inch elbow going into a 2-inch nipple to a 2-inch T, and then this is our surge bottle. That's so basically you don't get pulsation while you're spraying out of the wand. That's basically required if you're going to be spraying, otherwise it's going to be your spray pattern is going to be very ugly. Then we have it connected to another nipple here, to another T. And here we have a shutoff, which if I was going to redo this to make this cheaper, I would actually get another reducer, and I wouldn't use a 2-inch shutoff. These are really expensive. Even the brass ones, the stainless steel ones are even more expensive. I think these were about like 80 or 90 bucks a piece. So I have 2 of them. You know, that's almost $200 just in shutoff. So if I was going to redo this, I would use a reducer here, and I would just use a smaller, you know, smaller fitting for that. But for me, for my tank setup, I couldn't really do that for this one, being this is all 2 inches up here, and it's polyethylene or whatnot. So I just ran the 2-inch here, but I would definitely do it for your spray wand, because you don't need a big 2-inch shut off for your spray wand. I could have bought a reducer for this, and I could have just ran a 3/4 inch shut off valve to this wand. That would have been a lot cheaper, but I don't know, that's the way I did it. It works good. They're just a little heavy to turn on and off. You really gotta push on them, but they shut good and it sprays good. Here I have another, this is a 2-inch reducer to a 3/4 inch for my hose, and then I have it just connected to a barb fitting. If I was going to redo this again, which we're probably going to do it for next season, we're currently in the winter time right now, I would do this with threaded, I believe they're called, what's the word for it? Oh, they're basically crimped fittings. You don't use barb. They're a lot better. You won't have pop-offs. I believe they're called crimped fittings, and you can get them done at a hose shop. You know, they can fit those for you and get it all set, so you don't have to worry about the hose ever popping off on you. This worked for us. You know, we double clamped them with just the barbs, you know, one screw on the top, one on the bottom. But I've had pop-offs happen in the past. They're no fun. The crimp fittings are the best. And then we got to redo this next season. It's kind of just whatever, but it kind of moves on us a little bit, so I want to secure it a little better. But this is our tool rack. You know, a nice little added feature, just so you don't have stuff in the back of the truck, you know, taking up room and, you know, whatnot. Then we got our brush box. This was probably the next best thing we did. It's not the best thing you ever seen, but it does the trick. We got it sitting on the wheel well, and we got a piece of steel underneath it because it did not want to sit on there flush. That wheel well is pretty banged up underneath, so I forget what gauge steel this is, but we just picked it up from a steel shop that's local to us, and they cut it down to the dimensions that we wanted. And yeah, we got it just secured through the trailer rail, and then we got it bolted to the steel, so it's pretty secure. I wish our brush box came with a chain that went around the little secure holder here, but you know, we just got a bungee cord that does the trick for now. And then we'll step back to our hose reel. So actually, I'll step up front here. So this shut off here, this hose runs to our hose reel, which connects here, and then the sealer obviously runs through the hose reel, through the adapter that's you can't see because this is buried underneath this hose. But this is, I believe, 150 feet of hose, but we cut it down a little bit because we needed some extra hose for, you know, various things, setting up the tank and whatnot. But that pretty much is a rundown of the tank. Obviously, you know, when you're going to pour into buckets, you would just turn these 2 valves on and take this cap off, pour it into buckets, and then, you know, usually shut this one off so the sealer doesn't build up in there, you know, while we're, you know, doing a driveway or cutting in or whatever. And then when we're going to spray, this one stays off, both these turn on. kind of frozen right now, but it's cold. And then that's basically it. We got this secured down. This filter basket's kind of weird. It didn't come with any mounting brackets, and it has this nut on the bottom it's a Sealcoat basket, so I'm assuming it's probably screws into some of their like Sealcoat mounting or something that they have like on their pre-installed trailers or truck units. But it didn't work for our wood, so we kind of had to improvise. We oh, got a little shaky there. It's cold out. There's a little nut on the bottom anyway, so we drilled a hole in our trailer underneath. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see here. Yeah, we drilled that hole just so the filter basket could sit flush on the wood, because like I said, there was like a nut underneath it, so we needed to let that sit flush in there. We drilled a hole so it can sit in there, and then we just bought some little L brackets off Amazon and just secured it in there for now. And then it's just got a, you know, it's got little eye brackets with the loops, you know, that go over it, secured. It's good in there. It's not going anywhere. But anyways, guys, that's basically a rundown. I bought all this stuff online. A lot of the times it's hard to find this stuff at Home Depot and even Tractor Supply in store. You have to order a lot of it online. But yeah, that's basically a rundown of our tank. This is our backflow. You know, we turn this on when we want to mix up the tank. And like I said before, our tank isn't agitated, so we basically just mix it up with a cement mixer from Harbor Freight too. Just get in there and lean over the top and mix it up. But like I said, guys, I appreciate you coming back to check in for part 2. Sorry it took so long to get around to making this video, but I hope this helps you guys out, and see you for the next one.